Hey, it's Liam here from Bradley's, and today I'm with our 2025 KTM 390 Adventure R, and I'm going to give you an honest review of it as I do some riding. I came up to the Coromandel where Chris Birch lives, and he's going to take me on a bit of a trip around the Coromandel. Going to do some gravel roads, going to do some road riding, a little bit of scenery, and then going to go into some private access stuff that he has lined up for us. It's been about maybe 4 years since I rode the original KTM 390 Adventure, so I'm real excited to see what this one goes like.
We're just taking off from Chris's spot. I got Chris in front of me on the 890. We've 0.4 kilometers into the ride. Gonna go back here. The bike is pretty much exactly stock, apart from I've put Pirelli MT21 on the rear and a Pirelli Rally Race Star on the front, which is normally my go-to tyre on the KTM 890, which is what Chris is riding. So yeah, as you can see, the revs and how fast we're going right now, pretty comfortable to ride on the road actually. It's feels nice and nimble. The reason I put those tyres on, just normally Chris likes to take us into some interesting places, so we'll see where we get to with the 390 today. Okay, one of the first things I noticed as we just did the first road section was how little this bike vibrates. It's actually super smooth, being a single. Just recently spent time riding a KTM 500, and this thing feels so smooth to ride compared to that. When I'm going 100 k's, but I was just sitting at 100k on a stretch of road just then. This completely stock gearing, and I was sitting just between 5 and 6,000 RPM, bang on 100 kilometers. To the first gravel road of the day, so just going to go into the ride mode. Put it on off-road, closed throttle, bang, that was super easy to do. So now the ABS is off on the rear and I've got traction control turned off. Perfect. Off-road mode, the dash changes quite a bit, so we'll have speed there, which gear I'm in there, obviously it tells me I'm off-road, and I got my fuel range there. So we got that Pirelli on the front, just about to go into some off-road. This is the Rally Race Scorpion Rally. The Pirelli MT21 on the rear here. We're just going to let a bit of pressure out. About the 390, this latest one is, I just turned the key off there when I did the tyre pressures and it just kept my off-road settings, so that's awesome. Back on it. Oh, where are we going? Oh. There we go. So, oh yeah. Oh yeah, nice alcohol tempo. The suspension's good. Yeah, I've definitely felt the bottom of the forks once, but as you would expect. You don't have to be quite as careful when you're doing sort of corners and stuff like that as you do on an 890 because of the weight, I reckon. Is it? Little tractor just tractors up there. Oh yeah. I think that was the track we were meant to go down, eh? Okay. The True Adventure, good way to test the new 390. I mean, $12,000 right away in New Zealand, how could you not have it on? Yeah, like what? Yeah, it's cheaper than most of the dirt bikes these days. Oh yeah, there's a deer over there in the distance. Chris has found us a loop. Thought we were about to go up there for a second. We are. Second gear pulls extremely. Oh, that's first gear. That'd be why it pulls so good. Even second gear pulls really good up the hills. Where did we come from? Over there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oi, oi.
That's not what I wanted to add.
Let me get a bit close. Fuck you, same. Haven't seen that happen.
Yeah, not bad.
It's a good sign for you, mate, just to maybe get a 390 because he can't handle an 890.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Oh, holy cow, it actually bloody hooked up. Good. Fuck, it almost looped it out. Okay, so we're just finishing the first farm ride section of the day. We're up in the clouds there quite a bit, so thank you, Chris. And a bit of a wool shed, and now we're heading back down onto the road. Going to do some gravel and then head over. I believe it's called Neesville Road. Never been over there, but yeah, we'll see what it's like.
Back down
the road.
3 chilies.
Back down to the road.
Your choice.
Oh, I mean, there's not really a choice, is it? 3 chilies we go. Yeah, definitely for this type of riding you could go down a tooth on the front sprocket, I reckon. Just because then it would carry second gear like a little bit better through this stuff. Yeah. Oh, yep.
There's a very tight pushback coming up. No, sorry, a little bit further to go. Yeah, this one. A bit of a hydroslide down here. That's the gravel road on the right. Here we came up. It's like you said, like old pack tracks in the gold mining era. So this is one of the ways over straight to Coromandel. But there was walk horses over. Yeah.
So that was the first farm section and bush section done on the new 390, 2025 390 Adventure R. I say she handles things pretty well. If you're going to do more and more of that sort of style of riding, I would definitely recommend going down a front tooth in the front sprocket, because then it just would allow you to carry second gear a little bit nicer. I'm not a big fan of using first gear in the slow stuff because I find it so like jerky, and I sort of did have to use first gear a little bit in the some of that slower stuff, whereas I would way prefer to be using second, so then it's just a smoother power. Yeah, the suspension definitely has a limit to it. It's not a motocross bike by any means, but it actually holds up pretty well. It's just more of the harder impacts, like the holes or something you hit or you jump off something, then it for sure bottoms out. But in most of the bumps, even like when you're on gravel roads like this and there's like a pothole, it goes through that completely fine, like very good, way better than I thought it was going to be. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, we're just on a gravel road going back, and then getting on the road a little bit, and Chris is ahead of me. We're going to go over Kneesville, so that should be fun. So yeah, so far it's just been an absolute little gem to ride, and good that the sun is out. Oh, back her into the corner. Looking there as we're going down this gravel road, and we're just talking about the weight distribution of this bike and how nice it is to sort of back it into some of these gravel turns. I don't know if it's because of how heavy it is or the way, it's obviously the way the bike is designed and the weight of it, but you can feel very comfortable sort of getting on the back brake and sort of edging it into the corners like Chris loves to do on the 890. I'm not as comfortable doing that on the 890 as Chris is, but on the little 390 she feels more than comfortable doing stuff like that. On we go. Next challenge for the mighty 390. We're on a gravel road that Chris described to me as gets worse and worse, so could be a bit slippery on some of these rocks, no doubt. So just remembering I have upgraded the tyres to Pirelli MT21 rear and Pirelli Scorpion Rally Race front. So tyre I use quite often on the 890, so
Right, don't need to be. Don't fuck it up. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can do a big loop, but there's some pretty ugly stuff in it. It's definitely a little bike ride. Yeah, quite a bit. The thing's working, eh? Oh, so I meant that in a positive way. But like, it looks like it's tracking really good. Like it's just going up it.
Hey, so yeah, it's a shame my microphone on my GoPro wasn't working, but we're still on this track called Neesville Road, which we're heading over to sort of Tairoa. It had been raining and these rocks became extremely slippery, which wasn't ideal, but Chris is in front of me, been a bit of a flounder here with the twisted tyre he's got on. Wasn't that flash on the rocks, but one of the good things about the 390 was the fact that in these situations, because of it's only sort of 44 horsepower, it doesn't want to light up the rear tyre as much, so it almost sort of tractors through those situations a little bit better, which is sort of helpful when you get into some of those situations, especially sort of a lot more riding in the South Island where it's a lot sort of rockier, and the sort of hard rock that you're riding on down there, so it does allow it to sort of just sort of tractor along and climb up those rocks without sort of losing too much traction. Just checking the GoPro, obviously it's a bit wet here, but yeah, it became pretty greasy on some of the stuff up here in the Coromandel, on some of these rocks and stuff, but the 390 sort of handled it fine, which was pretty awesome. But yeah, just watch a little bit of action here as we ride along to this next section until it gets a bit wet on the GoPro. Turn it off. we're just riding along the very edge. There's about a sort of 2 metre drop to me to the left there, down to a whole lot of forward drive tracks. Chris had actually ridden through there about a week ago, maybe even less than a week ago, and it was completely fine, but some forward drives had been in there maybe the day before or a couple of days before we came through, and it was super muddy and wouldn't have been able to get through there, so we just run along this track along the top. The thing about the 390s, you sort of can get it into any of these situations, and it's sort of easy to get it out of a situation, if that makes sense, just because it is a little bit lighter, the tanks aren't as low, and it's pretty easy to sort of maneuver around. So just was sort of paddling my way down this rut, and then back onto sort of the main track so we can carry on the journey. Yeah, so we come off that track and then we went into Tyrell, got some lunch and stuff, and now we're heading back over a gravel road. This gravel road is pretty nice, sweepy, flowing sort of gravel. It had rained obviously, so the gravel was in like pretty pristine condition. But yeah, here I am ahead of Chris. He was just telling me about how that was a massive slip, that closest road down, that they've obviously fixed up now, so that's pretty cool, so we can use this road again. But yeah, pretty sweet gravel road. Here's the 390 here. Under braking, it's you can pull up into the corners a lot quicker than an 890, but sort of when you're coming out of the corners, the 890 definitely sort of leaves it for dust. That's where you're sort of lacking a bit of that power, and the 390 is coming out of the corners. But as you can see, it's not by any means slow, and it's doing a pretty good job here. Yeah, it's super comfortable. Like the standing position that I'm in standing now, that's like a completely normal standing position for me, especially riding dirt bikes and 890s and a bunch of different bikes. I have no issue with that standing position. It feels completely natural, completely comfortable. I guess what you'd call the triangle of the bike between the foot pegs, seat and handlebars. So it's always nice when you get on a new bike and the triangle feels like pretty natural. Quite often you get on like what you'd say this sort of price range of bike and it feels pretty weird, you're cramped up, something's not right, the bars are the wrong bend, the foot pegs are too high or the wrong angle or something, whereas that's 390, you jump on it and it sort of feels, yeah, completely natural. So it's pretty awesome to feel that, really. Hey, yeah, we're coming up to sort of the end of this video now, so just do a bit of a summary on the KTM 390 Adventure 2025. It's been an awesome bike to test ride today. Obviously done about 200 kilometers, I guess the loop was. Everything from gravel that we're on now to the farmland we rode this morning to the rocky sort of track we rode over and the mud holes at the top of that. And the tail seal, it was a pretty nice bike to ride. We're just on the coastline heading back towards Thames now, and yeah, I think 11995, it's an awesome bike. It's exactly, you feel comfortable straight away on it. You don't mind throwing it around. You don't mind getting into a bit of stick with it because you're comfortable to get out of it. It's smooth on the road. It doesn't vibrate. It's nice on the gravel. It can pull up easily. So yeah, it should be a really good seller for us here in New Zealand. And if you are obviously keen on one, feel free to drop any comments or anything like that below. Otherwise, get in touch with me at Bradley's. Enjoy. Thanks for watching the video.